What is going on YouTube? Just helping you out here. And in today's video, we will be unboxing the Bagail electronic coffee scale. Once I have used it for a bit of time, I'll be making a review video where I share my experience with it. Alright, let's get right into this unboxing. So, as always, the first thing I like to talk about is the packaging. And here we have a pretty standard box. It is one of those hinging boxes, but for the most part, this is just a regular box. It does have a little bit nicer of a finish on it though. Now, if we take a look at the front panel here, in the top left here, we have the company Bagail and the model number for this product. In the middle, we have a nice image of the actual scale kind of in action. So you have some water here, you have some coffee beans over here, and it's all on a nice white background, so it kind of contrasts well with the black scale. Now at the bottom here, it goes over a few important features. It has a maximum of 3,000 grams. It is precise to 0.1 grams. It has two color display areas, so you can see them both here, a timer and the actual weight. And there is this removable silicone pad for heat insulation and spill proofing. Now if we go ahead and move to the right here, there is some care and maintenance information. So it says to always use the scale on a solid and flat surface, avoid contact with acidic citrus juices, and clean the scale with a slightly damp cloth. And over here on the right, it does have a Type-C charging port. So it is a rechargeable battery that has a capacity of 300 milliamp hours. So it should take about 3 hours to fully charge it, and it'll last for 30 days before you need to recharge it again. Now, if we take a look at the back, there is again the company and model number here, and it mentions the two type of timing methods that you can use. So there's an auto timing method where the scale will automatically start timing when it feels a change in weight, and then it'll stop when you remove the weight from the scale. And there's also a manual one that works as usual. You just manually start it and stop it when you would like. Again, we have another image of the scale in action, and down at the bottom here, there's a little digital graphic of how the scale could be used. And then down here, it just reiterates that it is an electronic coffee scale designed for coffee, and it has two timing modes available as we discussed. Now, if we move on to the next panel over here, this one doesn't really have any important information. There's just some certifications, the name of the product, and that it was made in China. If we take a look at the top, it again says electronic coffee scale. And at the bottom, this actually contains a lot of the important features. So there's a max weight of 3 kilograms or 6.6 pounds. It can measure to a precision of 0.1 grams. The scale readings are LED. It has the two types of timing modes that we mentioned before. There's an alarm feature. There are touch buttons instead of physical buttons. So this is like tapping on your phone screen essentially. And when you tap those touch buttons, it should make a sound. The battery is rechargeable as we already mentioned. And there are some indicators. So it'll say low if the battery is low, and it'll say error if you try to put too much weight on it that exceeds this maximum. All right, so overall, I actually do really like this packaging. It is pretty simple, but it contains everything it needs to. It has the name of the company, the name of the product, some pictures of the product, and it outlines a lot of the important features. And I think that's pretty much all that's necessary and what I personally like to see. So now, as I mentioned before, we do have this hinged box, so I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. And now if we take a look right here, it actually says you can take out the charging cable here first. And it says charging cable included here. So I'm just going to listen to what this says. And there it is. So we'll go ahead and take that out. And it does have a little tie on it, so I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to quickly measure this cable off camera so I can let you know how long it is. All right, so this is a 3-foot cable that goes from Type A to Type C, which is pretty much what most phone chargers are these days. So you could probably use this for a lot of other things besides charging this device. But I do like to see that this is at least 3 feet long. Sometimes I feel like chargers that come with devices like this are shorter, like 1 foot or something, and that can be kind of annoying. So I am glad to see this one's 3 feet. So I'm going to set that off to the side and we'll continue on with what's in the box. All right, so we have a little piece of cardboard on here, so I'll take that off. I do typically like to see supporting cardboard pieces like this just to stabilize what's inside and prevent it from getting damaged. So set that off to the side as well. And now you can see here we have the actual product and it's inside of a bag, but below that, oops, I just turned it on. All right, so I'm gonna set that off to the side for now. We'll get back to that in a moment. And it looks like inside here, we do have another one of those supporting cardboard pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and set this box off to the side so we can first talk about this piece of paperwork. All right, so here we have a little piece of paperwork that came with the device, and it is the user manual for the scale. And this contains a lot of really good information, some product layout, some charging, what all of the LED indicators are, the button functions, information on weighing, how to use the manual timing mode, how to use the auto timing mode, some warning information, some advice for use and care, and that's pretty much it. On the back here, we have some warranty information, and they actually outlined this on their Amazon store a little bit. So they offer a 5-year warranty that allows you to have full access to their service team, and if you have any major issues, they will also refund or replace your device. So I'm going to set this off to the side now, and we can take a closer look at this scale. So I will take this out of the bag, and I'll set the bag off to the side. And you can see this thing is already going crazy. So I'm going to turn it off really quick. All right, so I got it shut off, so we can talk about it a little bit first, and then I'll turn it back on and show you the different features. So I'll start with the bottom. So down here, it does have a little bit of information on this little tag. Most of it I've already gone over. The only thing I haven't is that this rechargeable battery is a lithium-ion battery. And the only other thing that I want to go over on the bottom here is the speaker right here. So that will make noise whenever you tap one of the touch buttons. And there's also these 4 feet here that are made of rubber. So if you put it on a hard surface, it shouldn't slide around. It should stay put. All right, now if we go ahead and move on to the side here, you can see we have the USB-C port right here. And there isn't anything else important on the other sides. So we can go ahead and talk about the top now. And the first thing I want to mention is that it does come with one of these rubber pieces in each of the 4 corners, and that's just to keep it stable during transport and stuff. So you need to make sure you take those out before you start using it, and it actually does tell you that on that yellow tag right there. Now under that yellow sticker is the heat-resistant silicone and waterproof cover, and it's also anti-skip and anti-scratch. So this would allow you to put a hot coffee mug or something on top of here without damaging the scale. And since it's made out of a rubber, it won't slide around. And this is ultimately to protect the scale, so you wouldn't want to damage it with heat or something sharp, or if you were to spill any liquid. This can be easily removed. All the damage would be put on this, not on the actual scale, kind of like a phone case. Right smack in the middle here, it says the company name, Bagail, on this rectangle, and the rest of this cover has these lines on it that actually kind of dig into the rubber a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off really quick so we can take a closer look at the actual scale. And now you can see that this is just a smooth plastic surface. So it actually is a very good thing that this is on here. So I think it's really important that you actually use this cover instead of putting things directly on the scale surface. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just put this back on, and we can talk about this display a little bit. So that actually just kind of slides on. It's not really a snug fit or anything. It just pretty much lays on top. All right, so now down here at the bottom, we have the LED screen, and we have 4 touch buttons. So we have the power button / tearing button. This is to change the units. Over here, this is to change the mode. So if you want to switch between the auto timing mode or the manual timing mode. And then down here, this is a stop start button. All right, so to turn it on, all you need to do is touch this right here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just turn off the sound while I talk about this. So you can see the sound icon there. And to turn that off, you just hold the mode button. And now you can see it's gone. So I should be able to press other things without that causing any problems. So you saw me turn this on with this power button here, and to turn it off, you just press and hold it, but it also doubles as a tear button. So if I just set this down really quick to let the weight stabilize, I can just short press this, and you can see it tears to 0. Now, another interesting thing about this scale is there's 6 different units that you can switch between. So right now it's on milliliters. If I click this units button, now we're on ounces, pounds, pounds and ounces, fluid ounces, and grams. Over here we have the mode button, so we can switch between manual timing and auto timing. And finally, this button down here allows you to start and stop the timer. So if I press it, you can see the timer starting, and if I hit it again, it'll stop the timer, and to reset it, you do a long hold. Now there are a few final things that I want to mention about this. The first thing is that this is a 5.1 inch by 6.7 inch by 1 inch scale. So it really shouldn't take up too much space on your counter, and you could potentially even use it on your espresso machine. And it only weighs 0.8 pounds. It also does have an auto shut-off feature, so if you have it sitting there and it's on and it doesn't detect anything happening, it should just turn off automatically. And finally, it does let you know when it is fully charged. So while it is charging, it'll display just some dashes right here, and then when it's full, it'll physically say the word full. And that's pretty much it. So I look forward to giving this thing a try and letting you all know what I think in a review video. Alright, so overall we have the packaging that everything came in, we have the user manual, we have the USB-C charging cable, and we have the electronic coffee scale with that silicone cover on top. Alright, so that's about it for this unboxing. Feel free to check out all our other unboxing videos in the playlist in the top left corner. If you enjoyed this one, please drop a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions or an idea for a future video, feel free to follow my socials in the description below. And lastly, please don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about my channel so I can grow and help more of you guys out. I'm just helping you out. See you in the next video.